And what's up, guys? Welcome to the Lanyap Show. I am John, hosting tonight by myself. We're going to do something a little bit different. If you are a Battlebots fan, we're going to talk about the 2022 season finale. And oh my gosh, is it controversial? I tell you what, at this point, I don't know if I'm going to watch Battlebots again unless they publicly do something, make an apology, some kind of consolation match or something. They got to do something, right? If you are not a fan of Battlebots, you've come to the wrong place. This is the Lanyap Show. I like to get my friends when I can, sometimes my dad. And we talk about topics popular in South Louisiana. A lot of times that's politics, a lot of times pop culture, but sometimes I like to nerd out, and I'll do some scientific topics. I did Neuralink one time and, things like that. But I'm going to do BattleBots. It's something that I like. So if you are a BattleBots fan, stick around. If you're not, this might not be the video for you. That's okay. If you're a subscriber of the Lanyap Show and you're a BattleBots fan, wow, you just hit the jackpot, right? So stick around. It's going to be fun. If you're not a BattleBots fan, it's okay. Not every video I make you have to like, and that's cool, man. Again, the Lanyap Show is on BitChute.com. Check it out there. Also on Rumble, and I am John F337 on Minds.com. Also, the Lanyap Show is available as an audio podcast pretty much anywhere you can get an audio podcast, thanks to Podomatic.com. It's on iTunes and most places here. Let you see how it's spelled real quick. There you go, Lagniappe. And if you ask Alexa, you say, hey, Alexa, play the Lanyap Show. That's how you have to say it for her to do it. Normally, I do the Lanyap Show live on my personal Facebook page so I can have a lot of interaction. But truth be told, I don't know if anybody that I'm friends or family with even watches BattleBots. So I'm flying solo here. It's not going to be a super long video. Sometimes the Lanyap Show is like 2 hours, can be 3 hours. It's going to be a much shorter one, but I'm going to talk some BattleBots. Definitely. So just stick around. It should be pretty fun. We're going to check out the Facebook and Twitter feeds as well and show you all of the fan backlash on what went on. Let me give you a little hint about me, because there's a lot of BattleBots fans that are going to be watching. I did not know there were that many BattleBots fans until I checked out the social media after this big controversial episode. I like to drink as part of the Lanyap Show. You've seen the whiskey glasses. We're doing a homemade margarita. It's a mezcal margarita. Forgot the brand of mezcal that I'm using in here. Some fresh cilantro from my garden, fresh lime juice, and agave syrup. A splash of orange juice that's not fresh. It's like simply orange. And some Cointreau in here. And shake it and dilute it. Really good. Really good. There you go. That's the color of it. I think because the orange juice makes it a little bit darker. Anyways, let's get to it, man. Let's talk some BattleBots. I've been a huge BattleBots fan, probably not as much as the real big fans, but I've tried to watch it every year when I could. Even in the early stages, when it was just like robot battles, it didn't even, I don't even remember the name of it. It wasn't quite BattleBots yet, but I've tried to watch as much as they would put on TV, and there would be years in between when they'd have these robot competitions. They would move in between networks, so I couldn't really tell you. Some of these big fanatics could tell you, and much respect to you. But I really liked BattleBots because I'm a nerd, but also it's not necessarily a sport. It's robots, but we thought, at least I thought, this was one of the last places I could go as a sports fan where it wasn't totally corrupt, right? You look at the NFL, you look at the NBA, where all they do is play the refs the whole time, trying to get calls. Soccer's the same way. Battlebots, not much to work the ref on or whatever. I mean, 2 bots enter, 1 leave, right? That's kind of how it goes. Well, now we've got some controversy, folks, and I like some of the theories. We're going to explore a theory about how maybe Battlebots were trying to have a final with 2 female-led teams. Is that why they did what they did? Let's get into it. The very controversial finale of BattleBots. Me and my kids watch it. 7 and 5 years old, so they really like it. They really get into it, and even they were upset. Didn't understand why the judges and the referees did what they did. Wow, still scratching our head after that one, and it left me upset. Now, my kids will be willing to watch it again, but they're young. But me, like, it totally tainted the show for me. This is going to be rigged too, or at least maybe not rigged, but there's favoritism in it now that totally ruins it, man. Just let the... Or is it not favoritism and it's just happenstance that a couple of technical things happened and it looks real bad on the surface, but it just looks bad and it wasn't bad intentions? I don't know. Let's see. So I'm on the Facebook page. By the way, we're going to check out the Twitter too, which has a ton of content, and they're actually, BattleBots talks a little bit more. Their social media person does and asks questions about the decisions and actually raises it. But I found the Facebook first. I was not a member of the BattleBots Facebook page or anything until the controversial event in the finale. So they say, a new champion is crowned tonight. Who will it be? Watch BattleBots tonight, 8 p.m. on Discovery, streaming on Discovery Plus. 464 comments on this first post, 79 shares, and it starts with most relevant, but I want to do all comments, and I'm not signed into Facebook, so let's see if it lets me do it, and it does. Well, reading from the comments above, I have to say I agree with the disappointing finale of a fun season. Anyone with sound mind and sight could see who the real winners were. Maybe I'm naive, but this sport seemed real and honest. I admire the creative works that went into the building bots. Now it seems as corrupted as some of the other sports appear to be. What a fantastic comment. Really nailing most of the points. I'm not looking forward to next season at all. This person coming in, I concur. Disgusted with the show yesterday. Let's load some more comments. There's 207 comments right now. Juan Lopez, TV always likes drama. Absolutely awful decisions and favoritism ruined the integrity of this show. It was one of the only sports I could still watch that wasn't totally corrupted. And then you go and pull some nonsense like this. Unless something is publicly done, admitted to, some kind of concessions made to the robbed competitors, then I don't think we're going to watch again. Fix it. Fix it. So look at this. I completely agree. The show is ruined if action is not taken. Not just the final. Facts. Yes, I came here to see if I was the only one not understanding Tantrum and Hydra. I'm with you. I'm not going to watch next season, even if it happens after this utter disappointment. Agree, and hopefully Netflix buys the rights. I believe what you meant to say was the fix is in. Okay. Holy crap, I thought the Minotaur Witch Doctor had messed up the judge's decision. And then the Hydra Tantrum fight comes in. 19 replies to that. Couldn't finish watching. Horrible finale. If something doesn't change, there won't be many seasons left. Absolutely horrible job by the referees. They wanted the finals to be female captains. We're going to see that theme a lot. Blip was counted out for being stuck, and then Witch Doctor, they let him go. Hydra won. I'm a woman and have to agree it's so insulting that they think they have to bend the rules to make the women win and cheat to arrange that. And every now and then, there's like three. I say every now and then. There's like three who are actually coming out and defending what happened. And this guy is one of them. Going according to the rules. And just looking at it, I hate thinking it, let alone saying it, but after those two fights, I have no other explanation. They wanted a woman champion. Just over and over and over again. I could read these comments for hours. I'm scrolling through them so you can see them on your screen. Witch Doctor should not have been free. That was the most biased ending to Battlebots I've seen. Wow. Even worse. Really? First, the Witch Doctor gets unstuck, and now Tantrum wins. And you see all the likes. Look at the likes and loves. I'm done watching Battlebots unless they change the judges. Pure BS. Witch Doctor minutes. A horrible ending. Witch Doctor was clearly stuck. I've never seen the crew unstick a robot. I saw Witch Doctor immobilize. Just worst episode I've seen. We were at the last taping, and one of the announcers let it slip. We've known for months, but still enjoy the action this season. Let what slip? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Somewhere in here is one of the guys from Team Waiachi. They've really kind of complained, got on here, and I think they're actually taking videos that you can send to Team Waiachi, and they'll give away like a poker chip or something. They want you to complain, let your voice be heard, but never been so disgusted watching an episode of Battlebots. Say what you want, but Hydra won that fight. This is the first time I couldn't watch the remainder of the show. Look, just over and over and over again. Battlebots, I hope you're paying attention. There appears to be some things that need to be fixed in the rules or tweaked in the judging. Seems like we all have the same thoughts. I love the show. I love the bots, but tonight was frustrating. We've only got 52 out of 207, and they're all like this. Aside from, like I said, about 3 characters on there actually defending, everybody else is upset and in arms. And we're going to look at another Facebook post. And then we'll look at some of the discussion on Twitter. I haven't read much of the discussion on Twitter, but they have actually asked questions on Twitter and acknowledged the controversy on Twitter. On Facebook, they hadn't. 1.8 thousand comments, 100 shares. Let's go all comments here and load them up. The refs' timeout, the judge's decision ruined the semi and the finals. The season ended on such a sour note. Couldn't even watch the end. I agree. I did watch it, but I almost didn't want to, man. I was so upset. It's like, what in the world is this? Neither one of them belong in the finals, right? And I'll break it down a little bit when we get there, but Battlebots had too much influence on the outcomes this season. Forks and weapons being stuck under the rails. It's one thing to be put into the screws, but the rails are a disaster. Let the bots determine. I want to say that, too, about the flipper. Hydra is a flipper. Blip, some of the other flippers. They changed the battle box this time to where it used to be anywhere, I believe, on the outside of the arena, right? You could toss. There was a side where you could toss a bot over the railing and they would land in between the wall and like the railing, and you toss them out that part of the arena, you won. Well, now they put like I don't know if it's a 45-degree angle or so barrier on like 90% of the battle box. So you can only toss a bot out in the corners. And so that really hampered the flippers. In order to win as a flipper, unless you almost magically knocked the bot and managed to flip them out, the only way to really beat them was they had to take damage from the flip, which means you had to make them land on their weapon a lot of times. And we've seen that. They landed on their weapon. It was a spinner. The spinner hit down and it launched them elsewhere. Things like that. But it really hampered the flippers, I thought. Even though Blip was doing amazing, I still have no idea how that little robot works, but it's pretty cool. And it's not little, by the way. It's big, but it looks little in comparison to some of the others. What is going on tonight? Hydra won that battle, hands down. I see you need new judges. Maybe you should have replaced a couple judges. Battlebots' better story was a 31 seed. Yeah. And then I just watched a good season end terribly. I will continue to watch BattleBots. This person will continue no matter how I feel about the outcome, but they're at least admitting that they didn't like the outcome. It was terrible. Wrong decision. Disappointing finale. This crap is fixed more than the WWE. I don't know if it is. I don't know if they intentionally did it or they followed the rules when they shouldn't have. You know what I mean? Sometimes the rules aren't perfect, and that situation, they probably shouldn't have followed the rules. So even though that's their excuse, well, we followed the rules, man, you couldn't have some discretion. We'll talk more about that Witch Doctor thing, because it was one thing for that, but the way they drove Witch Doctor after they resumed play, they did not deserve to win. That driver, I lost a lot of respect for. Maybe 5 judges instead of 3 would add some consistency. Done with this show. This is the kind of crap that ruins a reputation. Absolute travesty. Is it just me, or did it seem like they were pushing for a female captain? I mean, over and over and over. Officially done. Just over and over again. Boo, Hydra won. There you go. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, by now you should know not to watch anymore because they're going to be spoilers. So 52 of 932. Folks, we're not going to look at all the thousands and thousands of comments, but they are almost all negative, again, aside from 2 or 3. And then they post again about the sponsors, and you get more of it. There's Valerie Johnson Pennington again. The sponsors are great. She tips her hat to the sponsors. But then people come right back into the comments, totally disagree with the Hydra decision. The season started so strong, ended poorly. I can live with the resetting of the robots during the championship, but the people wanting about Witch Doctor are tripping. They say, but Minotaur should have been counted out. He's saying this is somebody kind of defending what's going on with that, but then he goes and actually talks about Hydra and says Hydra should have won that match, and it just goes over and over. Hydra got robbed. Hydra got screwed almost as bad as Minotaur. Minotaur got hosed again. It was fixed from the beginning. If I was a wrestler and I actually tossed someone around the ring a dozen times and they push my nose up once, I'm pretty sure I'd get the decision every time. Clearly, the producers don't like Hydra. I mean, just over and over and over again. Let's pick a random one. How about this one? The box is just in favor verts anymore. I don't know. Being a flipper. Okay, this is what I was saying. Being a flipper, control, horizontal, or full body spinner is at a big disadvantage with this box design. One small area for, I don't know what this person is talking about, but I understand what they're talking about, but I can't. English must not be their first language, and I don't mean that to disparage them at all. Great finals, poor decisions. This person can't wait for next season. Okay, this one we're talking about the sponsors. They need Sir Kill a lot. I love Witch Doctor, but they never should have been pried loose. Okay, so let's look at the Twitter. Get rid of the Facebook account. So look at this. You see this GIF, and it's just going to keep playing it over and over again. This was half of the Minotaur Witch Doctor battle. This. What, they showed the cards for Witch Doctor in Minotaur. And they're claiming Witch Doctor did some damage. What damage? This is what I seen, man. Like, the majority of the battle, well, half the battle, because the other half, Witch Doctor ran away the whole time. But half the battle, this is what I seen. When Witch Doctor got like 2 good hits in, And after the decision, the production crew only just kept running a loop. Just like this is a loop, they kept running the same thing over and over again of just the 2 hits that Witch Doctor had. But the majority of the hits, when they got together, Minotaur was winning those collisions, knocking Witch Doctor upside down. Witch Doctor Spinner would hit, and it would knock him even further. They flipped him all over the place. Definitely dominating that fight before things got crazy. What happened with Minotaur was, at one point, they got stuck on these screws. Now, when you look at the damage, and look, there's the card here. When you look at the damage, they attribute damage to Witch Doctor. Like, what damage did they do? Yeah, the wheel came off of Minotaur, but that wasn't Witch Doctor's doing. That was the screws that Minotaur actually got caught up in. Witch Doctor doesn't get damage points for that. That's the Battlebots that did it. So you can't claim the wheel coming off. So this 4-1 was absurd. Absolutely absurd. Judge Lisa was on drugs or something, man. I don't know. And then the others are 3-2, but still, I still think they're confusing the screw with doing the damage, or Witch Doctor with doing the damage instead of the screw. That was crazy. Jason should draw the bots on a score sheet like the other ones did. Yeah, that's some pretty cool drawings. Man, that's really good from Judge Lisa right there. Look at the sad face from Derek. Minotaur should have won. Outrageous, wrong. All those flips aren't aggression. Up until now, I've been on the fence about the upper deck. Tonight's the first time I can say I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I don't think it did what they wanted it to do, and I don't think it lived up to. It was just out of place, kind of. Should have never went to the judge's decision. They did it for Whiplash. Cobalt, why did they unstick Witch Doctor? 4-1 damage to Witch Doctor. In no world does that add up. Yeah, I agree there. How can you give Witch Doctor any aggression points when they legit... Okay, so now Witch Doctor rams into the battle box, and the weapon gets stuck. And so what the rules say... I didn't pull it up there, but I think later on there is a tweet. I guess I'll have to pull it up or something. But because it's not like the screws, it's not the saws, it's not the floor, it's the sidewall. If you get stuck on the sidewall, then they are allowed to pause and get you unstuck. Apparently. It's like the only time it's ever happened. Maybe once before. Maybe. So that happens. Witch Doctor gets stuck. Minotaur has one wheel. If they don't unstick Witch Doctor, Minotaur can even gyrate and hobble on that one wheel and still bam, bam. They would have tore up the back tires of Witch Doctor. A lot of people are not realizing this. Minotaur was still mobile. They were upset at the time that they paused the action. They wanted Witch Doctor to stay stuck because they were about to attack. They would have ripped those tires off the back of Witch Doctor. They would have tore the back of it up. So, timeout gets called to unstick Witch Doctor, which most people don't agree with. Most people don't. Well, it's in the rules. Yeah, sometimes, well, the rules aren't perfect. Like I said, sometimes logic should come to play and whatever. But in the spirit of it, they allow them, unstick them, and that allows Witch Doctor to run away. Now, Minotaur is hobbling on one wheel, not totally incapacitated. And immediately, the folks with Witch Doctor want Minotaur counted out because he's hobbling on one wheel. You just got unstuck. So the refs are being nice to you, okay? The referee is being nice to you and unsticking your bot when you were about to get destroyed from behind by Minotaur. And you were getting your butt kicked around the battle arena. That's arguable, obviously, as you've seen the scorecards. Here, I'll pull them back up. But you were getting, I think you were getting your butt kicked, but you were about to get destroyed. The refs save your butt. And then you have the nerve to immediately, when they restart, start calling for a knockout, start calling for a count out for the other team? Seriously. Zero integrity. Zero integrity. I do not respect you at all for that. Well, count them out, count them out, count them out. Count them out. Won't they count them out? I don't know. Let's see if they count them out. You got to count them out. Why don't they count them out? Count them out. You were just stuck. Minotaur was moving. You weren't. The refs saved your butt. And immediately, okay, start. Count them out now. Count them out. Please, please, count them out. No respect for you. When Witch Doctor first came onto the scene, I liked them. I thought they were kind of cool. It was a cool bot. And then they were getting married, and it was still a story, a pretty cool story. And they were really pushing Witch Doctor, and it didn't work out. They lost, like, in the finals, semifinals, finals. And boy, they really wanted Witch Doctor to win. They are still pushing for that team because, they have all the colorful costumes and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's fun. It is a gimmick, but it's fun, and they allow all teams to do that. In fact, they probably encourage teams to do that. But it's fun. But they really wanted to give Witch Doctor that push. And so for the rest of the battle, as soon as they restarted, aside from one time at the very end, Witch Doctor went in for contact. Other than that, they ran away for a minute and a half at the end of the battle. So, to me, you get absolutely no aggression points. If you are deliberately avoiding contact for a minute and a half, and you're calling, again, I hope the team of Witch Doctor watches this. They'll probably never will, but, I didn't realize Battlebots has as many fans as they do, and probably nobody does videos talking about Battlebots, so here's one that people can find. So I hope some kind of way this gets to them. You, for a minute and a half, and maybe that wasn't true in real life, but that's the way the production of the show made it seem. It seemed like a minute and a half, all you did was drive away and hide to avoid contact and pray for the referees to count out Minotaur. Now, after you realized they weren't going to count him out, after the first 10, 20, 30 seconds, they weren't going to count him out, and nothing was changing. If you would have made contact and hurt him a little bit more, then maybe they would have been counting him out. But you didn't even make contact. Nothing was going to change. They were crab walking. Nothing was going to change. And you still ran, again, for like 90 seconds, ran and hid and shied away from contact. In my opinion, you get 0 aggression points. 0. As far as control, Judge there, I don't know how they got control either. What control do they show running away? And then when they met up, Minotaur won almost every. There was no control. That was at best split. I think even split, Witch Doctor would lose the control category too, because they ran away for half the match. A minute and a half, they ran away. Whatever they had in the first half in control, you got to take away from them. So, no, this is wrong. And regardless of the judges and the rules, you look at it, 67.3% Minotaur to 32.7% Witch Doctor. That's it. That's all you got to look at. That's how folks feel. And look at this. So, Witch Doctor never hit Minotaur's tires. Minotaur's tire got ripped off by getting stuck in the screws here. So, yeah, boom, okay, damage, weapon-on-weapon contact, which did no damage to Minotaur's weapon. None. Should a Minotaur have been counted out, or did they have controlled movement? Rest assured, Battlebots is working with the bot builders to revise the rules on controlled movement for next season. Yeah, they should. Let's click on that and see if we can get just some comments here. 100% controlled aggressive movement. Witch Doctor should have been forced to engage. I agree. I don't know about 100% controlled, but yeah, they try. I mean, they were actually making their way towards them. Not perfect, but limping. But that happens throughout. When your bot gets damaged, yeah, sometimes you're limping, but they're still moving, and they could actually move towards contact, and Witch Doctor still ran away. They should have been disqualified for running away. Again, I'll say it again. Listen to me. I hope the driver sees it. Witch Doctor should have been disqualified for running away from the battle. They were not going to count him out. You should be disqualified for running away. You ran away. Simple as that. Minotaur not only had controlled movement, should have won. Crab walking is usually ruled as not being controlled movement, though enforcement has been inconsistent. They need to make a rule. So they're going to argue. It's two people arguing pretty much. Let's go back. So that's where we stand with that. So I was upset. And I was shocked that they were doing that because Minotaur and Daniel Freitas, who was on it was a great story. He lost his grandmother and his mother to COVID. He was out there on a mission. He was driving super aggressively, just made a tear through the tournament. And this is how they do him, you know? So I was upset. Awful decision. Couldn't believe it. And not only the judging, but again, calling the timeout, getting Witch Doctor unstuck, and then the audacity of the Witch Doctor team to immediately after they get unstuck and get helped out to whine and complain to the judges, begging for them to count out Minotaur. Just come on, dude. Come on with that nonsense. And then let's go back here. Battlebots, they start talking about the unsticks and stating the rules. And, the video's going to be too long if we start going through all these comments. And then we get, so as bad as that was, okay, let's see. I think Minotaur should have been there. Witch Doctor, they pushed in. I don't think they deserve to be there, but they're there. I can hope that they get destroyed in the finals, right? That's kind of what I was thinking. At least we get to see Hydra. I understand Hydra got the 31 seed because Jake Ewert didn't do very well in the qualifying rounds. Now, to me, and people say, well, he got lucky to be in there. No, to me, if you have won and became a champion in like the last 5 years, if you placed in the top 8 of the tournament from the previous year, you should automatically make it in. You should automatically make it in, and then it's just all about seeding. So I think Hydra should be in, just because we know they are legit. What if there was just some things going on in the pits during the qualifying rounds that were bad, but this is an extremely high-quality bot, that was going to win. And I think he had to also to adjust to the new battle box, which was totally built against flippers. I mean, that like 90% of it is blocked off from flippers. You can't flip bots out of the arena, and that's what they would do all the time. That's how they'd get the win. Just go in, flip, boom, done. So, very upsetting there. You go in, and Hydra, Tantrum wins for losing. I've never seen somebody win for losing before. Tantrum won for losing, and I like Tantrum. Look, they had a heck of a year. They really surprised me. They kind of came out of the blue. They were like a mediocre bot, and next thing you know, they were winning, and they were winning legitly, okay? So I almost feel bad for Tantrum here because, and I did root for them in the final because it's almost not their fault. You know, they didn't do the witch doctor thing and beg the refs after getting a favor to give them another favor, more or less. Tantrum just, they lost, but they got the favor of the judges. Okay, move on. It's not like they did something. But, come on, guys. Hydra wrecked Tantrum. The whole battle. Flipped them. Tantrum did nothing. Okay, the only argument here is that Tantrum bent part of the flipper on Hydra. And Hydra didn't do much visible damage to Tantrum. No, not much visible damage, but Tantrum was pretty busted up on the inside. Not to mention, Tantrum was smoking at the end of that battle. Like the last, 10, 20 seconds, Tantrum started smoking. So there was damage done. Control. You can't get control. You got no. As soon as they made contact, Hydra would toss that bot across the battle arena. To me, that is control. They controlled the center. Come get me. And knocked him around. Okay, not an aggression, but control, yes. Totally dominant control. Not aggression. You can give Tantrum the aggression points. But when it comes to damage, look, even the flipper damage wasn't a lot. I know a lot of people defending the Tantrum thing saying, well, look, that was visible. Yeah, they bent the flipper a little bit. And for a while, it was stuck in the up position. But by the time the battle ended, which wasn't much longer after that happened, the flipper went back down and still got under Tantrum and flipped him like 10 feet. Launched him one more time for good measure right at the end of the battle. So whatever damage that was done to that flipper was purely cosmetic, did not do anything to the function of the bot. So that doesn't count. And then, so let's go and look at this, and here are the cards. And how in the world can you give, is it ever going to load? How in the world can you give Tantrum, and all three judges did it, for the stupid flipper? Just bending the stupid flipper, which did not stop it. It was just cosmetic. It did not stop it from launching Tantrum like 10 feet, 15 feet maybe, at the very end. Now, I think control was right. I think it goes Hydra 3-2 in damage. Aggression, I will give that 1-2. Although Judge Elisa gave aggression to Hydra, but just to make the argument. And control definitely goes to Hydra. Anytime they had contact, Hydra launched them. So, it all goes back to damage. And I just, again, for the reasons that I said, I don't believe it. And I mean, look at this. Oh, you can't see it. Some questionable language here. If we get, can we get into the replies? No, I'm not signing it. I don't even have a Twitter account, to be honest. Here we go. Let's look at some of the reactions here. So after the Minotaur witch doctor thing, they do this back to back. No effing way. No, 2 bad calls in a row. No way. No, F off. I actually didn't hate this one. Some of them say fair. It was more understandable than the last one. I'll give them that, but that's as much as I'll give them. At least it's more understandable because they didn't stop it in the middle while one of them was about to get destroyed. But 2 in a row wrong. You know, hell no, horrible. They need new judges, perhaps the ones that aren't blind. I will say this, just to switch. I've seen some arguments on Facebook that somehow it got political. Dude, there's nothing political about this. Leave the politics out, please. I have strong political opinions too, but leave them out. This has nothing to do with politics, man. It's stupid Battlebots. Come on. So obviously the crowd, Hydra, 63-36. Come on. That's 2/3 there. And then, some cool action here. I like that rotator cutting the hands off of Tantrum. So that's the big controversy. Now, obviously, they haven't said anything. The only thing that they said is that they're going to review the rules about unsticking. So that's it. That's all we heard. Can we Google Team Waiachi? Because I think they are doing some kind of deal if you make a reaction video, they said they were giving away. And they're talking about 2020. This is their website. So it's probably on their social media. Let's go to their Twitter, maybe. I'm just doing this. I'm about to wrap up the video. Hope you enjoyed, but I just want to see real quick because I know the Ewerts were somewhat vocal. Look, they've really, I've seen them in social media talking about it, but they really held back. I'm not going to pull up Jake Ewert's Facebook page. I think that's getting too personal. But back in February when it was filmed, he said it was like a kick in the nuts. But I'm not going to, pull up his personal stuff. Team Waiachi retweeted the... Okay. So I don't see anything about... Let's look at... Do they have a Facebook page? Let's look at their Facebook page. And one more thing, because I did read somewhere there, I think it was Clint Ewert that was posting about post your reaction video and they're going to give away. And I just wanted to, give a hat tip there. It's contest time for the season finale of BattleBots. We are looking for reaction videos to the episode. Bring the excitement or anger, and we'll pick the 5 best to get purple poker chips. You want to yell, scream at all the better chance to win. Wear Hydra swag and increase your chance of winning. Comment on the post. Okay, so there's 104 comments, and I don't know why I'm getting that. So Jake there. There we go, loading some comments. I don't see very many people posting videos, but it's been almost 24 hours. Are you feeling any better yet, fans? Trying to load this up. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So he did a video. Let's see.
But all we want to do is say thank you to all the fans. I'm sure you have things to say below, right? Wow, we are as shocked.
Okay. So, wow, 7 months, he said. Wow, we are as shocked as you are. Try holding on to that for 7 months. Holy cow. So, there will be more information about this in the Team Waiachi Reddit on Ask Me Anything on April 12th. So, it's coming up on April 12th. There you go. There you go, folks. I just wanted to show y'all. And I know some of y'all think Team Waiachi, they took the bad guy role or whatever. I was reading that, and some people were not a big fan of Team Waiachi playing the bad guys. But at this point, man, I think they got screwed. And so I just wanted to toss them that nod there. Hope y'all all enjoyed the video. If you are a Battlebots fan, and look, sometimes I do political stuff not everybody's going to like. I'll just tell you real quick, I'm a libertarian. I first and foremost, I believe in individual freedom for everyone. And then after that, whatever, it gets kind of complicated. But this is all about Battlebots today. And I do like a lot of science nerd videos here and there. But thank you for watching. If you want to check out more of that content that I do, if you are not a BattleBots fan and you just like the Lanyap show and you like my other content and you stayed all this way, wow, thanks. Maybe you'll start watching BattleBots, or at least just jump on the train to call for a change, even though you don't care and don't watch it or something. I don't know. I would be shocked if any of you exist if you don't watch BattleBots and you watch to the end. But thanks. Like if you like it. Share if you want other people to see it. And subscribe if you want more content. I don't know if I'll ever do any more BattleBots content. It would actually kind of depend on the reaction to this video. But, subscribe if you want to see the other content. And thanks for watching. I truly do appreciate it.